Welcome to BC Gnomonics. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at how certain equatorial and armillary dials can be built to include calendar functionality. Now, on this dial specifically, this being a equatorial, armillary, or equatorial bowstring, depending on what you'd like to call it, we see that it includes a notice as well as an expanded hour plane that includes not only the hours themselves, but these horizontal date lines. Now, for these specific types of equatorial dials, as opposed to equatorial dials of this type with a solid dial plane, it's far easier to indicate the date, as at any point in the year, this notice will fall somewhere along the vertical scale from the winter solstice line to the summer solstice line. Now, we have another example here of an equatorial bowstring that was not intended to be used as a calendar. As you can see, there are many similarities, but this dial is noticeably lacking a notice and date lines on its hour scale. Now, this dial could, in theory, be retrofitted to accommodate a noon mark for the winter solstice and summer solstice, thereby giving it some calendar functionality, but it's very clear that this one was not intended for anything more than its timekeeping. Now, we have another example here of an equatorial dial, and although the tip of this gnomon shadow will vary in position and length over the course of the year, it doesn't have a scale with which to capture that difference and record the sun's changes in declination. So because of that, this dial can only be used as a timekeeper and not a calendar. Now, let's explain exactly how the notice can be traced and how its position can indicate the date. So taking a look at this diagram here, we see that the sun's arc is highest in the summer solstice and lowest at the winter solstice. This results in the notice's shadow at the summer solstice being projected onto the lowest point. As you can see, the high sun with a line drawn between it and the notice projects a shadow onto the lowest point. Likewise, at the winter solstice, when the sun is lowest in the sky, it projects the notice onto the highest point on the plane. Therefore, with a properly laid out dial plane and properly spaced and labeled date lines, as well as a notice, a dial of this type can be used to tell the time of year in addition to the time of day. Now, that will conclude this presentation, and thank you for watching.